Hey folks, Lochlainn here, Mossdown Woodlore. It's going on a couple day camping trip here. Definitely one night, maybe 2 nights, we'll see. Testing out the ILBE pack here, and I got it fully loaded. This is no lightweight trip. 68 pounds of gear. A lot of gear today, but I kind of wanted to put it through the paces and see kind of how much gear I could put on it and how comfortable it would be and all that. And so we got a pretty big storm moving up here. All kind of winter weather advisories going on and freezing rain. Maybe they said 3 to 5 inches of snow. So we'll see. But yeah, so gonna head up there and gotta get I brought a half shelter, so I gotta get that set up and get some kind of shelter set up quickly because I just looked at the radar and there's quite a bit of weather coming up this way. So gonna get moving here and hike in and get this thing set up. So I'll check in with you when we get there. Alright guys, well, it's been an interesting trip up here. It's coming up on the highway and freezing rain. There's cars off everywhere. You who's just driving way too fast thinking they got this big SUV or something and they can go real fast. A mile down the road you see them spun off. There's probably about 6 cars or so, 7 cars. So I'm just throwing my shovel. I'm at the rest area, throwing a little weight in the back. I got started snow tires. I was fine, but I'm just throwing a little extra weight just to help out because it is slick. It's like an ice skating rink. So it's gonna be an interesting camping trip. So I got to get up there and make a shelter. So hopefully I actually make it to my destination without having to call AAA. So I'm gonna get to it here. This is fun. All right, well, we made it here. That was a stressful drive. So 3 cars turned over completely turned up on the hood. Must have just rolled, and roads were just horrid, really slippery. I lost control one time for a little bit, but nothing too bad. But I was fishtailing, and that's at like 35 miles an hour on the highway, so it was pretty bad. But what should have taken a little over an hour and a half or so took many hours. I don't even know. I have to look at the time, but got my pack here, quite a bit of gear. The weather is pretty nasty out, as you can see. It's this wintry mix. It rained all the way up, and now it's like a wintry mix here coming down. There goes a plow truck. Could have used him a few minutes ago. But yeah, it's pretty nasty. And of course, for some reason I decided that I was going to use the half shelter, like an old World War II style half shelter. I did waterproof it, but we'll see. I know it's probably not 100% waterproof, so it's going to be an interesting night. But enough talking. I only got a couple hours of light left here because I was expecting to have a lot more time. So I got to get busy. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting trip. But this weather was not keeping me from camping. So let me get packed up here, and we're all suited up, and we'll head on out. Alright, well, ready to go here. Got my super heavy pack on. No lightweight hiking today, so 67, 68 pounds I think it was right before I left. I weighed it. So I got a lot of gear. But I gotta get this half shelter put up because, as you can see, it's coming down. I've only got a couple hours of light left. It's gonna make for an interesting night, I think. So I'm gonna get to it. Alright, so I'm hiking for a little bit here. I think I see it's either a beaver pond or a stream or something through the woods here. Something through there. So I'm trying to find kind of near water. I'd rather not have to melt snow if I don't have to. But I've been hiking for a little bit here and I'm starting to get a little warm. And what you want to do is when you strip down a layer or at least stop and take a breather. You don't want to sweat out here, especially in this kind of weather. This is some of the most dangerous weather you can be out in. It's wet, it's raining, the temperature drops tonight below freezing. You can die of hypothermia very, very easily. So I'm starting to feel myself heat up a little bit too much, so decided to take a little break, say hi to you guys, just cool down for a second, and then I'll move on. So taking my time, I'm not going crazy far in, but especially with the weather the way it is. But I am ways up here. I have about maybe a bar of signal, so kind of out in a zone where there's not much reception. But anyways, I'm gonna finish taking a little breather here and then we'll keep going. Well, kind of have to make a decision fast, I don't have a whole lot of time, so this is the first place that I came to that looks kind of halfway decent. I got a stream over there, so I can hike over for some water, and I'm right on the edge here, so I didn't want to be straight out in the open, especially with this weather. So I got this balsam that's right above me, provided me a little bit of cover. Probably cut some of those branches there, and I'll tuck in. And it looks pretty flat in here. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell without getting all the way down, but I'll leave anything out with some boughs and stuff if I need to. So, but it is pretty wet out. It's pretty tough on gear, I tell you that. You can see I got just my raincoat wrapped around here as a rain cover. I still have to pick up a rain cover for this pack, so I was kind of trying to improvise a bit. But so yeah, I'm gonna try to get set up here and then check in with you. I probably won't film too much of it, setting up the shelter and stuff. I'll show you when it's done, just because I don't have time really to mess around with this kind of weather. So there'll be plenty of time to film tomorrow and all that. So I'll get it set up and then I'll film once I get it all set up. So alrighty, so we'll see you in a bit. Still coming down. Nasty rain, wintry mix here. Surprisingly under here, it's like not that bad. That's one of the benefits of having some cover above you. Be surprised how much a few balsam trees like this will deflect a lot of that rain. So snow's not too deep, so just took my snowshoe, and after I cut down a few branches there that were poking out into this area, but yeah, that's kind of what it looks like right now. Just kind of scraping away this stuff here with my snowshoe and my foot. So alright, well, I got the half shelter set up here. That's what I will be spending the weekend in here. And it's my first time having it out. I did waterproof it. Seems to be working. I put almost 2 cans of silicone on it, so it's probably not 100% waterproof, but I mean, it's canvas, but should do the trick. Sorry for all that shaky camera. But yeah, that's where I'm going to be sleeping tonight. So looks like there's just enough room to lay down. I'm going to have to kind of figure out, maybe put some boughs or something up that end or this end to store gear. Because as you can see, my pack is taking up most of it. So I'll have to kind of figure that out a bit. But now the next order of business is setting up a fire pit. So I'm going to set up a fire right here. As you can see, it's still coming down. Just nasty and wet. Tell you, does a lot for morale seeing that set up though. Get out here and just rain in and you know, I don't mind rain, I don't mind snow, but wintry mix is kind of a drag. It's dangerous too, so definitely does a lot for my morale seeing that shelter set up. So I'm gonna get busy here getting the fire set up. I'll probably make a cup of tea or something and relax for a second. Try to rehydrate a bit. Actually, I might do that first. Might take a quick 5-minute rehydrate, then work on the fire. I think that sounds like a good plan. So, but alright, I'm gonna get to it. It is wet out tonight. Oh, that is a welcome sight. Oh yeah. Everything is coated in, probably, I don't know, everything's got a coating of ice. I'm not exactly sure how thick, but it's thick enough so that when you grab it, your hands, you start melting the water right off it, right? Melting the ice rather, and they're just really wet. Hey guys, Lochlainn here. Well, what can I say? It's a pretty miserable night. It is coming down. It's just a steady, soaking, freezing rain. And the shelter, the half shelter, while most of it's being shed, there are a few spots that it's dripping through, so there's just not a lot of space under here too. So the fire is going, but it's having a hard time. It's really really wet out here, so you just have to spend a lot of time with the fire. But yeah, I was gonna have a cup of tea here, and it's gonna be a long night. Can't say this is probably one of my most, I don't want to say enjoyable, because it's enjoyable in its own kind of way, just kind of trying to get through it, but it's going to be a long, cold, wet night. So, just going to keep on trucking here. It's about 6 o'clock or so, but just checking in with you guys. I am soaked. I mean, everything is just soaked. I got the fire going, but there's not a lot of room under here, like I said. So there's trying to fit all my gear under here and me, and then the roof's leaking, and there's puddles, and yeah, it's interesting. I'm just hoping it doesn't get too cold tonight, because that could get could get a little dangerous. But I mean, I got a 0-degree bag and a MSS Bivy, so I mean, once I get into that thing, I'll be fine. But it's just in a sleeping pad, so just in the interim here, you know, trying to have dinner, and just everything's just sopping wet. But so I don't know. I might check in with you one more time here before I go to sleep, but hopefully tomorrow we'll have a little better weather. Little better weather. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, guys. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock, and it's still coming down. Sounds like it's actually gotten a little heavier. Yeah, it's quite the night. Just this freezing rain, wintry mix, and the fire has gone out pretty much. Every time I'd go out, I'd get it going again, dry off, and then the rain would just come down and just pretty much put it out. And every time I'd go out to work on the fire, just start getting wet again, and so it just didn't make any sense to keep, you know, repeating that process and just burning calories, you know, getting wet, gathering firewood to come in here and dry off, and then to do it all over again. So I'm just going to tuck in tonight, and I got a 0-degree down bag that I stuck inside the MSS Bivy, and then I have a wool sleeping bag that I got off eBay, which I think is awesome, because I can sleep right next to the fire, and if any, you know, sparks, you know, fly on me, it's not going to burn right through the Gore-Tex. That was a surprise that I was going to show you guys. I thought this thing was wicked cool, so I'll have to show you it in the morning some more. But yeah, it's a pretty miserable night, I'm not going to lie. Probably one of the most miserable I've had out here. But, you know, when I was driving up here, there was just so many cars off the road. There was a couple cars completely flipped over, just right on their hood, you know, on the roof, I mean. And I saw a couple like that, and then, I don't know, probably 10 cars off the road. And then so, to go back, it was just total traffic jam, so I wasn't even going to attempt that. And plus I wanted to come out here, you know, I've been dying to get out here. It's got tight in here. This thing's kind of leaking. There's a few places where I've brushed up against it, and it's been leaking a bit. You can see I just got in this thing, so I'm sure this is going to be soaked by the morning, but I have the Gore-Tex right here, so that'll keep me dry. I feel a little soggy in here, but I mean, I should stay pretty warm in there. I'd rather if I wasn't as moist as I was getting in here, you know, there's definitely a little bit of moisture on me, but not horribly. But I took my wool pants off and just put in, I just got long johns and then another surplus pair of polypropylene. So yeah, it's gonna be a long night. And look at, this is my anorak. Gave up on that. That thing just soaked through. I gotta waterproof that thing. Everything is soaked. I mean, just there's puddles everywhere. I gotta really hand it to the guys that use these in the service, you know, especially during like World War II and stuff. Can't imagine having to, you know, use these all the time. It's a really cool design, you know, but better for fair weather. Or if it was snowing, it'd be perfect. But it just doesn't like all this rain, freezing rain. I saw one guy waterproof it with linseed oil. I was actually talking to him for a little bit, and it's like boiled linseed, 50-50 linseed oil and mineral oil, so, or mineral spirits. So I may try that because the silicone's just not cutting it. But yeah, I was kind of hoping to be able to hang out by the fire a little more tonight and eat some food, and I've just eaten some cold stuff. I mean, I could have cooked some stuff, but I was kind of just eating some crackers and oranges and stuff like that. But hopefully it'll clear off some tomorrow and I can actually make something to eat. Something decent. But anyways, just checking in with you guys for my miserable night out here. I'm still having fun. It's just, you know, it would be more fun if I could actually hang out by the fire a bit more and not just have to ride out this storm in a half shelter that's not really waterproof that well. But we'll see you in the morning. Guys, well, it's about 3:30 in the morning. It's been a long night. It just started really coming down around, I don't know, 1:30 or so. Just kind of pretty much downpouring. And I was just hunkered in here. There's puddles everywhere, and I stayed really dry though in this Gore-Tex Bivy. I'm very impressed with that. So there was literally like a puddle under me that had collected on the tarp just from stuff blowing in, and soaked into some of the wool blanket, but that's on the outside. That was just kind of protection and a little extra warmth, protection for the Gore-Tex. But now it's it's like 3:30. It's starting to snow, so it's turned over from rain to snow, which is definitely very welcome. And it's really windy though. There's been these pretty crazy gusts of wind coming through. Every time we come here, it's just really windy. But yeah, 3:30, so getting there. Looking forward to having a fire and drying some stuff off, because that was a long wet night. I mean, it's still not over, but I was just laying here and I just, you know, noticed I turned my headlamp on, saw it was snowing, and after my eyes adjusted, I started seeing like up in the sky some stars. And I was just like, at first, you know, my eyes were adjusting, like, those stars? And then sure enough, they're starting to twinkle right through, and that's definitely a welcome sight. After getting poured on all night in January. But anyways, just checking in with you guys. I'm gonna try to catch a little more sleep here, but looks like I'm probably gonna make it through here. But it's quite the night. Well, morning folks, we made it through the night. It was quite the interesting night. Rain stopped around 3:30, turned to snow, just kind of light snow. The temperature dropped, everything froze up, so that was nice because it stopped all the, you know, the spray from coming in and forming puddles and dripping from the shelter. And after that, I did get some pretty good sleep. Kind of spotty still, but you know, solid couple-hour blocks at a time. So I feel pretty rested, not too bad. I was nice and toasty warm too, and I owe it to this sleep system that I just put together. So I wanted to show you guys this sleep system that I was using. and I'm pretty happy with it. So, remember I said I had a surprise for you guys a few videos back. This is what it was. I thought it was really cool, anyways. It's a wool sleeping bag, and World War II to probably Korean War era sleeping bag, and I got a really good deal on it. Paid $25 for it, shipped. And the only issues with them is that they're repaired, but not a big deal to me. It looks like this was actually added, I believe, I bought 3 of them, and this is the longest one out of all of them. And looks like it was maybe added on, I'm not sure. Or maybe it's just the tall version, I don't know if they came in different sizes like that. But and there's a stitch right here. They did a really good job repairing stuff. And then there's excuse me, I don't believe this is the original zipper, but I could be wrong. A lot of the other ones had kind of a green fabric here and a metal zipper. This looks like a plastic zipper, but it works really well. I'm really kind of happy they replaced the zipper, because this zipper works a lot better than the other ones, it seems. So yeah, the reason I like this is because I move around a lot when I sleep, and you know, with a wool blanket, I always find that your feet are getting cold, and that you know, there's a draft coming in the side if you don't fold it right, or if you toss and turn, you unfold it. And this is great because you can just get in and then you're completely enclosed. The other reason that I really wanted one is because with the sleep system, I wanted to kind of put together a bushcraft system where I could have my synthetic bag, but I could be right next to the fire, so I could put all my synthetic stuff inside, and if a spark lands on the sleeping bag, because it's wool, you know, it's not going to burn right through, so I can protect all of my synthetics. So yeah, I was really happy with this. I mean, it did, because all the spray that was coming in, the bottom got wet. I mean, it got soaked. This is soaked on the bottom right now, but I didn't feel any of it, and that's due to the next part of the system, which is try to do this one-handed here. The MSS Bivy. I got a really good deal on that too. I paid $35, but it's a brand new one. It's not used at all. So $35 for a brand new one. I thought that was pretty, and that was shipped too. Really like this. That saved my butt last night. If I didn't have that, I don't know. It could have gotten bad. The next part is my Mountain Hardwear Phantom 0 degree down bag, and that's a really warm bag, but being down, you know, if it gets wet or if it gets a spark on it, it's very susceptible, so it has to be protected. Inside the bivy, I have an Alps Mountaineering sleeping pad that I just picked up, and really like that. That's new to me as well. Those are a real deal. You can get them for, I think I paid $40 around there on Amazon for mine. And a lot of people that are, I was reading anyways, a lot of people that are using Thermarest are switching over to these. Just because, one, the price point, and they're made really well too. And then, see if I can find it. It's got like an actual metal little nozzle here. That's not the word. What am I thinking? You know what I mean. Whatever this thing's called. But yeah, and the bottom's got kind of a slightly grippy, not overly grippy, but it's kind of slightly grippy, so it doesn't slide around as much. But if you stick it inside the bivy, you don't have to worry about it sliding around all over the place. That worked out really well. Excuse me. But yeah, I made it through the night in that nice and toasty warm. I just had balaclava on and my hat and wool gloves, and just tucked down inside that. Just try to keep my breath outside of it so it didn't have condensation inside. But yeah, so made it through the night, and plan today, I think I'm just gonna cook some food because I'm pretty hungry. I didn't eat too much last night. It was just miserable out, and so like I said, I think I said last night that I just ate a little bit and just some cold stuff. I did make a hot cup of tea, so that was nice, but everything's pretty soaked, pretty well soaked. So I think I'm gonna eat, maybe hang out for a little bit, then I'll probably head back. I need to work on waterproofing this thing a little more before I want to go another night in that. And there's another possibility of rain today, so I don't think I'm gonna subject myself to that again, another night of that, without properly, waterproofing this shelter. So, anyways, just want to check in with you guys for the morning here and let you know I made it through. So let's get a fire going because I am hungry and need a cup of tea. Alright guys, let's get some tea on here. Packed up most of my gear, but I'm gonna make some tea, eat some food, and then probably take a walk around here. I'm gonna get my money's worth for making it through a night like that, so. It's really windy last night, so while things are wet, they did dry off somewhat. Like, there's not that coating of ice on everything that there was last night. It must have rained enough so that it washed, melted the ice, and then when the wind came rather, it dried things off a lot. I mean, everything's still moist, definitely not dry at all, but it's not sopping wet, which is really nice. I have been looking forward to this all night. Get some chicken breast, the bone. I like it with a little fat on it too. It just makes it taste that much better, I think. So, and who says you can't? This is just for steak, you can put it on anything. Oh yeah. Let's put the big boy on. I think that's the biggest one. Let's save that guy for later. And a little more. Oh, that looks good. Alright, let's get this on the fire. Oh, that looks good, huh? So you're just cooking it on a stick here. Just a little Y and then another one down there to keep it in the ground. I just gotta build this fire up. It's kind of died down a bit while I was putting that chicken on the spit there, so might need to raise that up a little bit actually. But let me do that and we'll check back with you. Alright guys, after a long night in freezing rain, that is a welcome sight. Get some tea on, get some chicken. Gotta go cut some wood. You know, I'll take it. Definitely does a lot to boost morale. Because you know what they say. Ain't nobody gonna break my stride. Ain't nobody gonna hold me down. Whoa, no. I got to keep on moving. Let's go cut some wood. Nee-whoop. Yeah, something to eat off of. And I also have some tortillas I want to cook, so I might drape them over this. And brought some refried beans. I think I might make the end kind of pointy so I can stick it in the ground. I'd like to find one a little wider, but it'll work. It'll do the trick. I'm getting really hungry, so I just decided to go with straight on the coals with this one, because I need to cook fast. Oh, that looks good. Okay, so here's an example of how you can utilize a fire to do two different things. I started my fire here, and now I'm cooking the chicken on the coals. And then just kind of move some coals over, blew some birch bark into flame, and then I've got another fire going over here so I can keep making tea, and I got to warm up some tortillas. And so just goes to show you don't have to have just just one style of fire and then wait. You can do two different things, just like your oven. You can cook stuff on the top, and then if you need to put something inside, there's different parts to it. So same thing with a fire, you can customize it to whatever you're doing. Alright, well, this is going to be an experiment. My brother brought some refried beans last time and some tortilla shells, and it was really good. So I kind of did my own take on it. Get this thing off. It's refried beans, and then I cut up a bunch of hot peppers, like a bunch. The stuff is so spicy, probably gonna burn my lips. Figure I could cut some chicken up, put it in there. I might just eat a couple like this too, just wrap them up. I just need the calories right now, I'm starving. Hopefully this is in frame. I just gotta move a little fire closer, I think. Yeah, that or I might be able to prop this up. Stick something down in here. I might bring it a little bit closer. Is that in frame, guys? I don't know. Hopefully that's a little better. Oh yeah, I can feel it pretty warm right there, so. I had to share this moment with you. This is a beautiful thing. Oh, look at this chicken. Come on, focus. Oh, look at that. Juicy, cooked over a fire, coals, and smoky. Cut some up, put it in the tortilla wrap. Good to go. Alright, let me do that while this is still hot. Alright, check that out. Oh. Doesn't get much better than that. That is good. Breakfast is served. Check that out. Oh, I can't wait to eat that. That looks so good. Alright. Enough looking at it. I'm going to eat it. Oh, this is going to be good. That was good. No words. And now to devour the rest. A little piece of bone in that one. That chicken just made that whole night totally worth it. It's little things like this in life that you just can't replicate indoors. Got to get out here. Haven't gotten out lately. Pack it up, head out. Well, working on a batch of char cloth while I'm out here as well. I put a bunch in there too, so I have quite a bit. Well, I think I'm going to finish this video up. I'm going to be packing up and heading out pretty soon, but give you the last shot of the half shelter here. Show you from behind. Yeah. Wanted to test out that sleep system and the ILBE, and so far so good. Can't really give a verdict on it yet until get some more dirt time on it, but got the initial one done. But yeah, it's good getting out here. So last night was miserable, but you know, we made it through and had a good day today. So I was warm at least, you know. That's the nice thing about that sleep system, and that's about the worst weather you can get stuck in, freezing rain in January, you know. So I'm pretty happy about that I was able to stay warm while sitting in a puddle or laying down in a puddle. But anyways, I'm gonna get wrapped up here, and if I have any other final thoughts, I'll probably just finish them off at home. But yeah, until the next time, we'll see you next time. This is Lochlainn from Mossstone Woodlore.